Good evening, and welcome to this second edition of the Poets Corner. I am your host, Micah Joel Tui, and I am broadcasting from Western Illinois University, WIU, from Macomb, Illinois. I'm very glad to be producing this second edition of the Poets Corner, and I'm very glad for all of the emails that I've been getting in response to the first inaugural audition edition, if it were. I'm very glad to have all of the positive feedback that I've been getting, and for those of you who've been writing to me and telling me I've been helping you fall asleep, I'll consider it a compliment. So, on this edition of the Poets Corner, there was a break. I thought the commercial was coming a little sooner than it actually was, and so because of that, you got about 2 minutes of Mozart's Alla Turca. And there were some people who wrote in asking for the whole of Alla Turca because they wanted to hear the whole piece. They were curious how it ends. So, because I really don't want to leave anything unfinished, we're going to start out this evening with Mozart's Alla Turca. What an absolutely fabulous piece of music. Mozart, he has such a light touch, and I really like that light touch at the end of the day in order not just to soothe but also inspire. The first poem for the evening will be a poem written by yours truly, and it's a poem I wrote for a young woman from Peoria, Illinois, who I'm very happy to know. Her name is Katie Malley, and recently it was Katie Malley's birthday, and kind of in the spirit of the light and playful alla turca, I wrote this poem for her birthday called Wine and Cupcakes. There's an interesting story about that. For a long time I didn't realize that cupcakes were made of cake, and they were called cupcakes because they're cake in a cup. And so one day I had this revelation that made my head almost explode. I went, "Oh, cup cake!" And it made everyone laugh but me. But because of that, her birthday poem is entitled Wine and Cupcakes, and I really enjoy it. I think it's fun, and I hope you'll agree. Wine and Cupcakes, a birthday poem for Katie Malley. Send round the wine, let hearts be glad and suck. Set scruples aside and seize the day. Let milk and honey overflow, feast on cakes and cups, and leave the somber hearts to pray. For death shall come swift like the night-time thief. Be not concerned, let trouble cease. This moment's a flower, all too fair and too brief, to savor not before release. Generous hearts, today what's yours is mine. Let passing glories damp our spirits not. Our laughter dried, withered and stained by dust of time, enshrined immortal in our lot. 1 year closer to worms that you may be, sad on happy days to think of death. But in his beatitude who loves you glory be, your joy now near to spirit blessed. So I give thanks, if I have thanks to give, as beauty such knows not decay. I give thanks to precious him that you may live. Pray for our sakes, long may you stay. That was Wine and Cupcakes, a poem by yours truly. And, I've been celebrating a lot of birthdays lately. I myself had a birthday recently, and seen a lot of other people have birthdays, and I think it's always good to remember why we celebrate birthdays. Sure, it's a reason to go out and party, and who doesn't need a good reason to do that? But when celebrating the birthday of a friend, just remember, it's not their excuse to have a day for themselves. More than anything, if you're going to be a friend to someone on their birthday, you're letting them know that you do in fact celebrate their life, and you're letting them know it is good that you exist, and I am glad that you are here. Sometimes I think we forget that. We get so busy, we get so wrapped up in all the things we have to get done. Sometimes we live so much in the past or in the future that we forget to affirm the now, to affirm the present that gives both future and past its meaning. And as important as it is to affirm the goodness of the life of our friends and family and coworkers and even the stranger on the street, it's just as important that we sit back and we remind ourselves that not only is it good that they exist, but it is also good that I exist. To remember that you as a human being also have a birthday that's worth celebrating. I'm coming up on time for my first commercial break. Please stay with us in the Poets Corner. We will have more poetry and discussion. I hope you're having a wonderful evening. It is about 9 minutes past the hour.